Hello, my name is Mary Grace, a student of the Law Career in the University of Guayaquil. Today, my group called Dynamite Team, conformed by Britney Ayala, Paulette Romero, Andres Montero, Kevin Abifandi, and me, and we will talk about reported speech. Reported speech is a very common thing in the English language. We do it almost every day, in conversation and in writing. The problem is sometimes there can be some confusion around the topic. So today we will take a look at reported speech, what it is, how to use it, and we will look at some good examples of reported speech too. So you can see how it looks in everyday conversations or writing. Okay, what is reported speech? Reported speech is simply when we tell somebody what someone else said. You can do this in your writing or in a speech. Reported speech is very different from direct speech, which is when you show what somebody said in the exact way that they said it. In the reported speech, though, you don't need to quote somebody directly. Instead, we use a reporting verb such as say or ask. Say or ask. These reporting verbs are used to report the speech to someone else. There are many different reporting verbs that can be used. We will try to use different ones from this explain to show you some examples, but you can always do some research too if you want to learn more examples for yourself. And in short, reported speech is a linguistic technique that we use to tell somebody what someone else's direct speech was. In the reported speech, though, you may need to make certain changes to the grammar to make the sentence make sense. So we will look at some grammar change examples below and highlight what needs to be changed.
Report speech. What is direct speech? When you are talking someone you are usually saying direct speech. We took and daily and we can't releasing it. In simply styles of speech. For inspire indirect style over the one wants the will both take another size. For example, direct speech unlike dogs. Robert Page, she says she likes dogs. Robert expects rules, which sense from directed to indirect space. You need to tell the grammar in the certain way. In this section, we are going to be looking and looking more closely at direct and indirect space and on the same are used. Bird tells chance in report space, presence. In their reporting verbs in the tense, present tense, then very like next to be don't do their direct. Space sentence to change in. Example. Direct space, I like dogs. Report space, she says she's like dogs. I not really need to be changed, except the pronouns, because you are not talking about somebody else. She is becomes she's her he. Then tense instead. Tense and because shows instead present tense and versions of the replacing verbs. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brittany and I'm going to talk about the past of direct and reported speech. Sometimes it's necessary to change the reported verb into the past tense. As we can see, direct speech and reported speech, we have two sentences for examples. Direct speech, I like dogs. And the reported speech, she said that she likes dogs. what changed in these sentences? The verb likes becomes in liked. It ends with ed, and the verb says becomes said in simple past tense. When the reported verb is in the past tense, the verb tense forms usually need to change. The tense generally move backward in this way. Simple past becomes simple past tense into past simple tense. The present continued tense into a past continued tense. The present perfect tense into a past perfect. The past simple a past perfect tense. The past continue into a past present continue in the past perfect. These things remain unchanged. Okay. It means not change. We have some examples. The simple present become a past simple. She always wore a coat. She said that she always wore. The verb change wear to wore a coat. Present continue to past continue. I'm looking for my keys. She said that she was looking. Is not. I am is was looking for a keys. And that's with all of them. Will, we would, can, we could, may, with might, must, with had to, have to, with had to. I'm going to talk about choose for reported and we reported indirect and direct speech, in future. If somebody is talking about what will happen in the future, then again, you will need to change the tense of the reported verbs. Will become will into will be into will be, will have into will have, will have been into what would have been. One example I think could be I would be at the party. She said that she would be at the party. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Abifandi, and my topic is modal verbs and reported speech. Okay. Modal verbs and reported speech. We have already covered modal verbs in another article, but it is interesting to see how they are changed in reported speech. Can into could, the verb remains unchanged. Have into had to. Most int, most had to. May into, might, the verb remains unchanged. It should, the verb remain unchanged. Okay? Let's take a look at some examples. Direct speech, will I see you later? In reported speech, he asked if they would see me later. Okay? In the direct speech example, you can see the modal verb will being used to ask a question. Notice how in reported speech the modal verb will and the reporting verb ask are about writing in the past tense. So will becomes would and ask becomes asked. It is important in the reported speech to make sure that each part of the sentence is in the same tense. Sometimes though, modal verbs do not need to change tense because they already read correctly. Here's an example. Thank you very much.
Direct speech. I should go to the park. Report this page. He told me he should go to the park. Notice that nothing needed to be changed here to fit the past tense reporting verb tool. Should doesn't need to be changed grammatically for any sense to make sense. But you will not notice that because he decided to use the reporting verb tool instead of said, we had to include the pronoun me for it to make sense. Report speech. He told me he should go to the park. Report speech. He said he should go to the park. Both of these sentences make the pronoun me after should in the first sentence, but within after said in the second one. Here is the incorrect version so you can see why it doesn't work grammatically. Correct report speech. He told he should go to the park. In correct report speech, he said me he should go to the park. In order to make the top one make sense, we need to add me like we did in the correct example above. In order to make the second one make sense, we will either have to remove me, like we did in the correct one above, or we will have to add another word so that it looked like this.